The model that they have chosen for this school, assuming that the board passes it, calls for some things that the Teachers Association is going to have to agree to. Do you see that happening? Do you see that being a difficult challenge to surmount?
I can't speak for our union, but what makes me nervous is with this current administration, I would be very comfortable with some kind of negotiation or evaluative process. I just think that our administration is very supportive of teachers, really gives us a lot of freedom in the classroom. However, we can't control our administration. We can have new administration in 2 years. Different type of personality can come in and would not be effective. It would not be beneficial. So I'm afraid of the one-size-fits-all evaluation for all schools and all administrators.
When you say the administration, do you mean the district administration
No,
or the
the current administration at this school, so our principal and vice principal.
Okay. Katie, same question?
Yeah, I agree. We don't know what the evaluation process is going to look like. We don't know how it's going to be ran. And right now, we are very comfortable with our administration, meaning our principal, vice principal. But what if we do get a complete different personality? That's where it could get scary, and it could be manipulated to work in a different manner than originally intended.
My whole thing goes back to the fact that I don't think you'll ever have success till you have kids that have to be held accountable for their part in this thing. You can hold teachers, you can hold administrators, you can hold superintendents, but until the legislature realizes that you've got to get kids to buy in and held accountable, I don't think you'll ever change the way things are, personally.
Well, as based on how this goes, if there's not success, whatever they define success as, over the course of a few years, you'll be required to change principles. There's not going to be any guarantee. Is that going to make it impossible to come to that agreement regarding?
Well, I think what's going to happen is, due to that fact, and we do have a very strong union that really fights for teacher rights, I don't see us coming together and being able to find something that can evaluate all teachers at all schools with all the different cultures or environments that we have that would be effective. It's going to be impossible, because I really think for our school, you have to take in consideration our student population, our test scores, our neighborhood. You have to take a lot of different things into consideration, and if you compare us to another school such as Commodore or Rio Calaveras, the types of evaluations or expectations would be completely different.
Well, it sounds as if what they're talking about would just be for this site.
Well, there's only going to be 4 sites that they're going to do this. I really think we're kind of the pilot sites, and what I understand, they're going to try different models at different sites so they get an idea of what's successful and what's not successful.
The one where they tie the evaluations to the student performance is this one, though. The other ones aren't going to do that.
Yes,
so.
we get this one.
But, it is going to be based on, supposedly, from what he said, the school is going to have, you all, I guess, will have some kind of a hand in. You're not going to be developing something that would be used at Commodore. You're going to be developing something appropriate for Roosevelt.
But then, we're supposed to be piloting that, so eventually it's going to go from us, because we have, 22 other schools or 28 other schools that will be in the same situation eventually. So are they going to reproduce 28 different evaluations for them, or are they just piloting in our school? That's what worries me. The immediate future, I think, we can probably get something that would fly, but continuity over several years, I don't think it would work.
Probably going to be something you all have to agree to on a year-to-year basis, I would imagine, though.
I would imagine, but it's going to be very difficult to get this to pass.
Yeah. What do you think of the recommendation that they chose for this school, not looking years down the road, but just as far as immediately? It means, for one thing, that you can stay here, which you were concerned about.
Well, I did get my pink slip, so
did I.
we don't. Yeah, we
Two of
both
the three
same.
of us here got
So, for me, I'm just hoping to get back here. Not, necessarily. It might not affect me at all. I might not be here, but compared to the other models, I'm glad that we're not facing 50% of the staff being replaced when 50% of us are, not quite 50% of us, but close to are already leaving. That would be, I think, a real shock for our students. I think that would be hard. And I'm certainly glad they're not closing the school. And I hope it can work, and I'm optimistic about it. It just needs to be done done right. So I'm hopeful. I think out of all the models, I think we could do it. And I think we have a really good culture here, so we'll work together.
Yeah, and you made the point. I was thinking in terms of the having to replace 50% of the staff. They didn't choose that model, but of course there's that other aspect, which is the pink slips. And you say you got one
Yes.
as well. How long have you taught here?
This is my first year here. I've taught 3 years now in Stockton, and the other 27 years has been in other school districts. I chose to come here in Stockton, because I thought, last few years before I retire, I could maybe make a difference in an inner city school. Not anticipating that, you give up seniority in one place to come into another place, and where you wanted to come in and try and help kids from the inner city situation, and then end up on a pink slip situation.